Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Today we will be learning about national integration. What do you understand? And this is Liza. Before we go ahead with our topic, this is Liza, and this is the sociology subject. We a second semester. So I'll be dealing with national integration, an essay question, wherein we will be understanding what is the meaning and concept of national integration, and what are the various steps or what are the various things that we can help in order to, promote national integration among students in schools. So before we go ahead, let's say now, what would we understand by national integration? First thing comes into our mind is national integration means unity, right? National unity, or having a oneness, or understanding what national means, a country or a nation, right? Integration is togetherness, that is providing a common identity or awareness among the citizens, as we are the citizens of our country. So whether we belong to any caste, religion, regions, or speak different languages, etc., we are one at the end of the day. So this kind of integration, like what this is the integration which we need, which says there is a national integration in a particular nation or a country. And this is very much important to build a strong and prosperous nation, because in order to have financially strong and a prosperous nation, everybody, each and every person living in a country or a state or a district, everywhere has to be united. Okay, so let's go to the meaning. This is what is the meaning about. As it says, national integration, it's an awareness, as I said, of a common identity for the citizens, and then caste, religions, etc. So this is what it goes through. Let's go now. What do you? We can just see a few images about national integration. You can see children have drawn the national flag, and all the people from different religions have come together. So that is called national integration. So let's go to the next slide. And it's as Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, what he has said is national integration cannot be built by brick or mortar. Okay, it cannot be built by chisel and hammer, but it has to grow silently in the minds and hearts of men and women. The only process is a process of education. That is, through education only it can be built in the minds and hearts of human beings. So rightly he has said. And then let's say in a simple words, what exactly is integration? National integration means national unity, or that is unity in diversity. That is, it means, what does it mean? Unity in diversity or national unity means unifying or getting the forces together in the country. That is giving an idea of one nation, not staying, okay, I am from Andhra, I am from Telangana, so I am Telangana. No, we are an Indian at the end of the day. So we are one nation. We are not supposed to separate ourselves according to our states or according to our languages, etc. So that is national integration. Now, say as I have mentioned, Dr. Radhakrishnan, and what is exactly the simple words. And next, what do you mean by content? What exactly is content, or what content is natural integration, etc.? See, it helps us. Why exactly? What exactly national integration does is it helps us to protect the fundamental rights of our freedom of the people. So that is what it means, national integration. And promoting, we will be promoting, which means like that country gives its people. We are promoting ourselves through national integration, that we are giving it to people. And then it's rightly said, according to Iqbal Narain, what he said was national integration as a concept is that holistic and multidimensional. That is, it's multidimensional. It is holistic because it takes into account society, culture, etc. mean by multidimensional? Multidimensional is multiple thinking. I mean, we have multiple people living in our country. So many castes, so many religions, so many languages, so many states, etc. So, in multidimensional, we have to think in order to have a national integrity. Now, you can see the images. As you can see, our ex uh, president, Mr. Abdul Kalam, APJ Abdul Kalam, what he says exactly, see if you can read, I am not a handsome guy. What he says is, I am not a handsome guy, but I can give my hand to someone. That means he can give his hand to someone who needs help. Beauty is in heart, not in face. That is called a national integrity. Beauty should not be according to the caste, religion, culture, or languages, etc. But it has to be as a human. We have to look for each other. Now, if we see next, what happens is, why? How was it formed? And who helped it formed? The national integration, there was a council set up which was originated in 1961, that is in October, by our honorable late Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. He was the one who had bought a council called National Integration. The main purpose why he had bought is in order to find different ways to solve problems that were dividing the country. Okay, in order to solve them, like specific, as I've been talking about, specific communities, caste, religions, languages. There were so many riots and problems that were going around at that time. So because in order to have a national integration, a unity among each other, among all the human beings, because before we were born we were not, before even caste, religion had come, we would be a human being. Later caste, religion, etc. comes into picture, but for national integration everybody are together and should be together. This is what Jawahar, our late ex prime minister, first prime minister, wanted, and that is the reason he had formed this. So next, what does it involve? What exactly the national integration involves? So let's see. What exactly does it involve? Like feeling of oneness. We should have a feeling of oneness. You should have a unity in social, political, then linguistic, economic, and cultural as well. And then a sentiment of nationalism, like I am an Indian, I am not an Andhra or Telangana, or I'm a Maharashtrian. No, we are an Indian first. That is what is unity in diversity. And then common ideas in life, and then common code of behavior, like we need to have a common code and a behavior pattern for it as well in order to have national integration. And then also an ability to subordinate, or loyalty towards your nation. Like if you have observed, like nowadays when we go to cinema halls, etc., like if you take an example, Big Bazaar or PVR cinemas, if you have seen, people, before they start the movie, national anthem is played at the before that, and then they do scrolls stating please stand up for national anthem. That means we are being loyal, we have to respect about what is about our country. That national song means it is, and we are like saluting our national, and the song that is being played in the background. So wherever we are, whatever we do, let's say if we are outside India as well, whenever a national song goes on, people stand there, especially Indians. Why? That is the loyalty that they show towards their country. So that is what national integration involves. So we can see the points. Next, why do we need? What is the need of national integration? Why exactly? We are loyal, yes. we are being nice, we are being, sometimes we think as human beings, sometimes, yes, but there is a need of national integration. Let's see why. To make a powerful country, yeah, if you want to make a country powerful, that people should be united. And then second thing, we will, to make a country successful, if you want it to be financially successful and business wise or anything it could be, then everybody should be united. And then to make a country free, like we were in the bonds of britishers, yes, for so many years we were held by them, and everything was being taken away from India. Yeah, whatever growth they had was being taken from India. Yes, we were suffering, though we had so many riches, all the resources, natural resources, etc. But we suffered a lot. But once we started uniting, what happened? We got our freedom. So, in order to get a freedom, we need national integration. And then, in order to save country from other countries, right? Like how we did for British. And then to establish a peace in the country. In order to have peace among all the people of all the states, we need to have national integration. And then for development of the country. Yeah. In order for our country to develop, one man works hard, it does not help. We have to work together. And then in order to preserve our democracy, yes, democracy is right to people. We are the one who follow democracy. We are the one who rule. There is nobody else who rules us, right? We don't have kingdoms or kings, etc., to rule over us. And then the last point will be unity in diversity. That is the main need for national integration. So if you just go through, these are the points that we have just gone through. And then we can see the images as well, which shows us that with this unity in diversity, there are so many places, yeah, Qutub Minar, etc. And now, what are the obstacles to national integration? If you see, there are so many obstacles to national integration, right? As rightly said, what are the obstacles? Let's just go through that. Obstacles will be communalism. What do you mean by communalism? Communalism is a national solidarity, or a great menace uh, to the country, where you have people thinking in a very communistic way, and they would be saying, what, you are from different region, oh, you are this, you are that. Okay, this is one of the main obstacle in our countries, where the independence is being withdrawn because of that. Because of this, various religions, linguistic, tribal parties are being formed. Okay, the best, no, the independence, as I said, is being removed. Only selfish desires are uprooted in every human being. So we do not get the fruit of the benefits that we are supposed to get if you have communalism. Next, if you see, the next one would be the main obstacle will be casteism. Casteism, what do you mean by caste? Caste is nothing but different castes that we have, OCs, BCs, etc. This is again another obstacle in the way of national integration. Like in previous ancient times, uh, India was divided into different caste or society, we can say, or subcaste, uh, based on like births. Now they are low caste, middle caste, high caste. These kind of uh, barriers were there, and due to which kind of civil war, social civil war was raging all over the country. And it becomes difficult if you develop this kind of sense in among the students. So you have to ensure that there is no casteism or any kind of such development that happens in the child. We have to teach them that there is no low or high or middle class. We all are equal. And then next would be provincialism. This is again another second danger, equal to communalism. It comes because of the sentiments that is behind the communalism. So this is also another part. Next, if you go to, it's different political parties. Now we have so many political parties in India, that there is a possibility that the one of the party might be working hard in order to give all the benefits, all the freedom, all the democracy, and help the people to be united. But there are certain parties which do not do that. They are living and doing work for their own self. That is selfishness. So there are so many parties growing in our country. Now, lack of good leadership. What do you understand by lack of good leadership? That is, in order to success, to have a democratic country, we need good leaders. If the leaders are selfish, okay, and corrupt, then what happens? Nothing. Whatever they if they are selfish or corrupt, they will only think of their self and them. They will not care about the national interest, or they will not care about the national unity, etc. They will become an obstacle in the path, okay, in the path for the national unity. Next would be lack of social conscious or social sense. Like, we are always self-centered and we do not understand our duties, and then we just live our lives. Okay, like, for an example, somebody throws, we have been given garbages, big huge garbages are kept around all the cities, but what do people do? They just throw it on the road. Do you think it's something we are lacking? Yeah. If we have that social consciousness, then we would ensure that we don't throw it on the roads. We ensure that everything is clean around us. That is what is social conscious. Now let's see another point, which is again an obstacle: unemployment. This is the greatest threat to national cohesion, that is, for national integration. Because ideally, when there is unemployment, the youth gets frustrated. Yeah, they get restless, they have so many conflicts among it, they feel that they are unwanted, and sometimes, because of unemployment, uh, the youth turns out to be thieves or robbers. Robbery happens, or so many, they become a threat to the society. So that is also another worst enemy, and it is also an obstacle. Next is frustrated youth, as I have said, because of unemployment, or because of favoritism that has been shown in school, or because of the corruption that is going around, or in their family, or in the surroundings. And if the youth is not certain about their future, what they would be doing, how they would be doing, that also would lead to national integration. Now let's see another point which would help us. The ninth point is domicile restrictions. That is, like, restrictions that are placed in colleges, okay, where people of different states or country are gathered, where under one flag we gather, but still there is a communistic barrier, a caste barriers that are being set. Like, you are an outsider, or I am an Indian, or you are an African. These kind of barriers are still existing, and due to which there is no national integration among the country or any other nations, etc. And then lack of national character. What do you mean by national character? See, there are people who don't even are don't bother about India. They just blabber, stating, India, okay, they don't have anything, they don't have proper roads. They were Indian, they were born and brought up in India, but still they do not like anything good about India. And apart from that, there is so much of problems going on in the market itself. If you see, there are bribes taken, okay, they are smuggling drugs, okay, there's been child labor, and then child abducting, yeah, girls being forced to do certain bad things. That is also another danger which we face for a national integration. And another last point would be language also is an obstacle, because most of them, oh yeah, he's a Tamilian or he's a Hindi speaking, so he's a Marathi speaking, they are better for us, they are this is what we thought, we think about. So these are few images which influence us. Now let's say we go to the next slide. What we would be learning, how is this educational program helpful to students in understanding national integration? Okay, in order to get national integration, what can we do? Now, what do we do in order to get it? We do take pledge stating India is my country, all Indians are brothers and sisters, etc. That pledge has to be understood by the students, and every day it has to be said with meaning in their heart and mind. It has to be a conscious. Then admission, scholarships, these also should be liberally given, because it should not be based on caste, etc. It has to be for everyone, right? So school projects or various cultures, if you give school projects, that would also help students in understanding. Then special talks, like we are bringing in special people, or eminent leaders who are a pride of India, who are working hard or who have been ideal person in order to have national unity. And then co-curricular activities, we will go in the detail for co-curricular activities. Then reorientation of curriculum, that is reorienting about how the curriculum has to be framed, how a national integration can be done if we have a reorientation. And teaching of social studies, which has to be mandated, because social studies teaches you so many different things, like you have geography, history, civics and economics of the particular nation or the country. So that has to be common among all the students in every state, so that they will have a oneness, a unity in understanding and whatever they are studying. Next is textbooks and study of languages. Now, languages also has to be implemented and encouraged to every student or every citizen or state. Okay, which would also help in national integration. Then we have moral, religious and humanistic education. That is also more and more important, because moral education helps us to understand what exactly will happen if we do this, what is the moral that we get if we are doing something good. And religious, like we need to know every details about all the religion. We do not have to be concise on one particular religion. As I'm a Christian, I should not be only knowing about mine. No, we need to know about all the religions. We should respect all the religions. That is what has to be. And then humanistic education, like first thing, we are humans. We don't divide ourselves according to caste, religion, etc. That has to be taught to our students. Okay, if you see, there are certain images where students have made slogans or placards showing to be together, and these are few images which shows us unity in diversity, how we have to be, what you have to be, etc. Next, how is the educational programs helpful? How it will be helpful for us? Now we have seen what are the programs that we can implement. Now how it will be helpful for us, we'll just go through quickly. Redesigning the textbook. That was one of the main points wherein we redesign, so that every person living in different states as well do study few chapters or few lessons in common to other states as well. That is where the unity will be. Because if one state has a different textbook and the other state has a different textbook, then what do we learn? We do not learn in unity, right? We will only learn about our particular state. We will not be developing as one nation. So redesigning of textbook has to be done. That is, they have to recast or revising books like Indian history, geography, civics, literature, the languages, etc. has to be helpful in order to help students to appreciate our social cultures or linguistic culture or religious cultures that we have in India or all over the world. At the same time, this textbook preparation should be done with a special care, right? If special care is not given, then there is sometimes a misrepresentation that happens, and it can be interpreted as well, and then they would be you know negative development or negative attitude that develops in a student. So that has to be, a special care has to be taken. At the same time, you know the contents might change in the textbook according to necessity, as per the government of that particular state, etc. But they know the publishers or the authors also should be cautious to what they are selecting, like what are the topics they are selecting, how the presentation is done, what are the facts they have to facts and figures that they have to give for a person, for the students to have a positive approach. So objective, especially objectivity should be there, and how the cost has to be maintained for that particular textbook, etc. So everything has to be considered in order to redesign the textbook. Now you see, as I've told you, co-curricular activities that we have gone through. Now what exactly you mean by co-curricular activities which will help us? Now you might be wondering what will be. See, we have to organize activities which helps in national and emotional integration. That is developing student in order to understand the unity in diversity, or unity which helps us to bring oneness, like celebrating national festivals. Okay, that is Independence Day, Republic Day, Gandhi Jayanti, or Children's Day, Teachers Day, etc. And then Martyrs Day as well, if possible, in school, so that we can instill or bring that emotional bonding or closeness or consciousness to the students. Okay, and then celebration of birth anniversaries of national leaders like Gandhiji, Jawaharlal Nehru, APJ Abdul Kalam, Ambedkar ji. All these people have fought for freedom, and they were always wanted unity among our nations. So celebrating their birth anniversaries and asking students to have seminars or debates, etc., helps us to understand or grow more and more closer to our culture, to our, and also to understand how the leaders have helped us to gain freedom and what they have done in order to have this unity. Next, then we can have seminars. Then we have we can conduct exhibitions, like having a theme, a particular theme stating for communal harmony or national unity. That also should be a part of it, and dramas as well, which can be done. Then also we can, in school, educational films or radio or TV, anything, talk shows, or reading of newspapers, which helps us to understand, or which will give us to know the importance, that also will help to have a national feeling or national unity among the students. And then organizing educational tours. These tours or trips will help the students to have good knowledge, that is first hand knowledge. Before somebody could give them, they will be able to have the knowledge about what is their country, what are the barriers that they have, what are the burdens that is being on the country, how the country is going through, etc., will be analyzed or understood by the students due to this organization of national tours. And then next, what would you now participating in national integration camps? Yes, there is again a main important character which will help us to uh, improve or get that national integration among the students. The students should be allowed to participate in national integration camps, because these are held by Ministry of HRD, and they take right step, right directions are being given, and they help students or give provide them understand about what exactly is oneness, what exactly is the unity. The main objective of that camps is to enable students to understand and appreciate the social and cultural life of people in different states of India. That is the main motto of that. And at state level as well, not only national level, state levels as well, the state department conducts, that is CERT, organize these camps as well at a wider range. So we have to ensure that our students are a part of it in order to understand what exactly is unity, and also to get that feeling from their heart and mind. Next, development of national discipline. see, there should be a discipline in a person's life, in a student's life. If we have discipline, yes, it is a first step to the prosperity of the country, because the present student will become the youth or the pillar of that particular country, so that has to be promoted. And then, because the students are the future citizens of this country, we have to train them in such a way that they have the democratic values, or they should be an ideal person for national integration, to bring that oneness in that community or state or nation, to be together, to have, these people should be nurtured in secularism. Nurtured means to be brought up, to be under, they should understand the value of tolerism or harmony, what exactly we should have, what is a brotherhood, or how a fellow feeling, a bonding among our own people of India. So this helps them. Next, other activities. What other activities can help us as well? So uniform pattern of school dress for teachers and students all over the nation. It also will help them towards the right path, and it will help us to have a national feeling in their minds. It will help them to grow, and then we will be creating that if we have that uniformity in uniform pattern, etc. And then we can also educational institute, like development of community life, right? If we develop the community life, only the students will be able to understand what is the community around them. So right decisions, right direction can be given or taken by the students. And then students can also participate in them as well for national reconstruction. They should be encouraged to speak or give their own ideas in order to how to get they should be able to provide us with more and more ideas to have a national integration among the country. And then we can also organize different games, sports, exercise, etc. That also will help or encourage the students, because the other students will join, and they will be able to encourage each other, right? They will be able to know each other. Maybe the languages might be different, but language will never be a barrier, right? And that will help us to have a unity, a oneness, a feeling of oneness for each other. Okay. And next, what can we do? Teaching of languages. Like, language is a main source, right? It's like a vehicle of communication. Without a language, as I said, language might be a barrier, but we might have a common language that we can speak to each other with, right? And that will help us to have a bondness, a oneness, a brotherhood, or a feeling of oneness among each other, right? So that will also help us in having a unity of in the country. And then study of art, music, and literature. Art is also another form, another step, or another thing which can help students to understand. Like, we have so many art forms in India, or music or literature, if you say, which helps us to understand each and everything emotionally. We get connected to it emotionally, right? So when you're getting connected with emotionally, and then you have that consciousness. If you're going something wrong, if you're doing something wrong, when you're emotionally connected, you will be able to get it quickly, understand it in a better way, which will help us in national integration, right? And then, as very it was rightly said by our late first Prime Minister, Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru. He mentioned art galleries and museum in a great city are like windows. Yeah, when we look out of a window, it's like which look out on the broader, richer, and deeper things of life. So when you look out of the window, we see beautiful buildings, beautiful sky, birds flying. So it gives us a understanding, or uh, a broader and a deeper to life. We will be thinking, oh, why not this, why not that, how is this, how is this, how is not this connected to this, why are we like this, why cannot be we like them. This is what is an understanding that grows within us, right? So he has very much rightly said that. And then, next, now we have gone through all those. But before these things can be achievable, but a role of a teacher is more and more important, right? Without that role, without a teacher, nothing can be successful. A student, if he needs to know what is unity in diversity, a good teacher only can help him or her in order to achieve that, right? So what exactly is the role of a teacher? The role of a teacher is, she is like a lamp, right? She's like a light. And then she or he is the one who can inculcate the national values or create the best Indians or the better Indians from the students. Like they are, unless until a teacher is immune or from these casteism, colonialism, from all these religious things, etc., he or she will not be able to give that value, or cannot become a living symbol, or cannot be idol, uh, or a model, we can say, for national integration. So the teacher has to first inculcate so many things in them in order to promote national integration or bring that national integration in their students. So everything should be put aside, the languages, religions, the narrowness, the narrow thinking, etc., has to be put aside, and then only he or she will be able to build a better nation out of the students that they are teaching in their schools, right? So the role of a teacher is very much important. So we, being a future teachers tomorrow, we also should be very careful and keep it in our minds that we would be the best role model for our students, and we would never allow this religion, caste, or languages, etc., to come in between our students and the teacher bonding, which would help the students in order to be the best citizens of India, right? Now let's conclude the lesson. And what we have understood with this national integration is nothing but it's an overall development of a nation, right? We need to develop our nation. And in spite of there are so many diversities, like large scale diversities which are saying, there is still uh, you know there is still unity lacking. So because of national integration, it binds us together to help us to be a part of one nation, right? And then a sense of tolerance or love, sympathy, acceptations, a fellow feeling or brotherhood or a togetherness can be generated only through education. So education plays a most vital and important role in national integration, which helps us to bring that oneness in our minds and our hearts, right? So that our children can be the better citizen of that particular of our nations. Yeah. And then as we rightly say, Bharat may stand about like, see, alliance to Bharat may stand, it says religion, caste, community, language, and region, love the people and love the nation. That is the motto of every Indian, and it should be as well. That is a motto as well. It should be the motto, that is love the people and love the nation. Let's see, education should generate that love in every Indian, so that there will not be any differences, so that we are always united. Thank you so much. Hope you have understood. Please go through the PPT. If you have any doubts, you will be able to understand. Thank you.